The same building is running two policies on the same company. On paper, Anthropic is a supply chain risk. Operationally, one of its models is already inside the NSA. This is what it looks like when a memo loses to a machine. In February 2026, the Department of Defense formally designated Anthropic a supply chain risk. Effective immediately, contractors were told to disentangle. And then, somewhere else in the same department, the NSA kept using Anthropic's most powerful model. Mythos Preview is not a product you can buy. Anthropic has not released it publicly. Access was granted to 12 named partners under Project Glasswing, plus roughly 40 additional organizations that build or maintain critical software. That's the ceiling. Everyone else is outside the circle. Two sources told Axios the NSA has access. Mythos access is restricted to roughly 50 organizations globally. The NSA is inside that circle. The Pentagon, as an institution, says the company providing the tool is a risk. This is what Mythos can do. Anthropic's own description: find and help exploit software vulnerabilities at a level beyond most human specialists. The public examples are flaws patched in OpenBSD, FFmpeg, and the Linux kernel. The non-public examples are what you would expect the NSA to ask. The story doesn't say. The capability is why the access matters. Here's the fight. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth pushed Anthropic to allow Claude for all lawful purposes. Anthropic refused, specifically on two restrictions: mass domestic surveillance and fully autonomous weapons. That refusal became a supply chain designation. But while contractors read the memo, the NSA kept the tool running. Senator Elizabeth Warren said the Pentagon's supply chain designation appears to be retaliation. She asked for the OpenAI contract details. Because that's the other half of the picture, is when one vendor refuses surveillance and autonomous weapons use and gets labeled a risk. The question becomes whether the label is about the vendor or about the refusal. If you are a defense contractor, this is where it gets operationally complicated. The paper says disentangle. The operational reality says one of the department's own intelligence agencies is using the model. The designation targets procurement relationships, not internal agency operations, which may be why the NSA's use does not trigger an automatic compliance review. Compliance officers now have to live inside a contradiction they did not make. That doesn't make the designation go away. It makes every contract review harder. The memo is not wrong. The memo is not enough. Here's the tell. Governments routinely hold contradictory policies, but they usually hide the contradiction. In this one, a cabinet department formally says a company is a risk, and one of its intelligence agencies formally has the company's most restricted model. The ban is real. The deployment is real. Only one of them is on the record. That gap is the story. Two sources, one department, two policies. When paper loses to the machine, it never loses quietly. It loses in the procurement office, in the Senate inbox, in every contract review that cannot say what it sees. Watch that gap. That's where the real policy lives.